Spoiler alert. I know this is a bit late, but I went to the movies and saw Puss in Boots: The Last Wish, and let me just tell you, for a side character in a Shrek movie to getting multiple spin-offs and outliving the original movie he was in, this is a must watch. So, if you want to watch this movie yourself, which I highly regard, click off now. But without further ado, there are so many points I could go over in this video. I mean, for example, the animation is just French kiss. I mean, look at this. Just look at it. I've heard that it's similar to Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, and they couldn't be more wrong. But actually getting to the meat of the video, I'm going to be splitting this up into multiple parts. Number 1, animation / music. Number 2, plot. Number 3, message. Number 1, the animation is beyond stellar. The animation is amazing. When Puss is in the governor's / mayor's house and sets off fireworks, it wakes up a rock giant that starts to destroy the town. And let me just say, the bell scene is so fucking good. It made me squirm in my seat. The way the animation goes from cutting back from first person to third person of Puss makes it so much more engaging for the viewer. The lighting that also goes with the scene makes it feel so much warmer and energetic. I'll touch on it a bit more later. But the music goes hard as fuck. When the giant first appears to the character, it feels like a Dark Souls boss fight. I mean, it matches the situation going on so well. And then the movie snaps right back to the cheery, fast-going music that quickens the fight, which I wish lasted much longer. During Puss's parade of defeating the giant, the bell he used falls on top of him and kills him. Luckily, he has 9 lives, but not anymore. Still, he isn't bothered, which leads me on to why the animation is so amazing in the next part, when Puss first encounters death. During the first encounter with Puss and Death, Puss thinks he's a bounty hunter and spars a one-on-one. With Puss being nearly defeated in the first 30 seconds, he gets cut on the top of his head and realizes he's not invincible. The red background, which I think is the beginning to realization he isn't immortal. Following him wiping the blood off his forehead and the confused look on his face, his fur starts to stand up, and that is truly when he knows he isn't immortal. Not what I'm about to say is music, but the rapid heartbeat of Puss shows his horror and how terrified he is, which in my opinion is a very nice detail. While watching, I didn't expect his heartbeat to show up, but damn, did it make the scene so much better. It made me feel like I was with the character. I also love how the animators made it to where there's a fight scene, Puss is slicked down like he's ready to kick someone's ass. However, when he's in a scene with somebody else, for example, Kitty, he seems more fluffy and open to talk to. Back to the music once again. I love the type of music they have for Puss's character, which I'm pretty sure is called Norteño, whichever it is, whatever it is, which is fast-paced Hispanic or Mexican music. I'm not entirely sure. Please don't get mad at me, but I love the music that matches choreography of fights. It's great. Enough with the animation and music, and on with the plot. Personally, I think the plot of the movie is paced well. Not too fast, but enough to understand what's going on and not being confused. Like I mentioned, before the movie starts with Puss in the mayor's governor house and how he fights the giant and loses his last life. He decides to go to a not so crazy cat lady's house that he gets to the coordinates from the doctor that he saw after his fight with the giant. While there, he buries his costume in a grave and decides to retire. There, he meets a dog disguised as a cat. Later in the movie, they refer to him as Perrito, which I'm just going to refer to him as. They get attacked by Goldilocks and the 3 bears. Yes, the nursery story. They figure that the grave that is outside is, but before, they mention the map to the last wish that is being delivered to Jack Horner. Again, the nursery story. Puss digs up his supposed grave. Him and Perrito head off to Jack's pie factory and decide that he's going to get the wish and get his 9 lives back. While Puss is sneaking to Jack's room and finds the chest, Jack's back is turned. Puss opens up the chest and finds the softballs. And while they're arguing between one another, Goldilocks bursts through the window, and Puss and Kitty skedaddle out of there. Then, Goldilocks and Jack enters the world. A stick, and Perito goes to get it. Who else but Jack finds him and holds him at gunpoint. Dear God, he's dropped from Jack and sees Puss running off, hearing the whistling from Death. While in the fight, the three bears get a hold on the map. But I don't want to gloss over how evil Jack is. I mean, this dude made his soldiers, bakery guys, turn into a bridge and bring his giant bakery vehicle over a cliff, and they all fall and die. This man literally looks down the cliff and is like, oh, bro is a menace, and the cricket that he opened from a bottle is supposed to be his conscience is petrified. Kitty eventually catches up to Puss and them from escaping Jack and Goldilocks, and overhears him apologizing for, I think, walking out on their wedding. To be honest, I have no fucking clue, but I think. Hold up. So, they were. A side plot of Puss starting to realize he likes the life he's in and is using it to the fullest he can. Right before they're done with the fiasco of being in the forest and find Goldilocks in nostalgic area. Kitty also says that she didn't go to his wedding either. Nice. Retrieve the map back, and guess what? The damn dog gets captured again. Gets trapped in his cave of trapped souls and leaves Kitty to retrieve Perito. Puss is in his cave. He sees the other 8 versions of himself from his past 8 lives. Death appears again and scares him out of the caves. He runs straight to the star in the ground that marks his wish. He's seen making his wish from the glowing star that gives off an aura, and Goldilocks makes their way over. The gang and Jack. While Goldilocks is heading over there, she admits that she's gonna wish for an actual family, and Jack admits to the cricket that he wants to control all magic in the world. Kitty meets up with Puss first and is mad at him that he was gonna take the wish for himself. He tries to admit that he's on his last life. Before Goldilocks and Jack arrive, he says that Death is following him. Soon, Jack and Goldilocks show up, and Goldilocks realizes that she couldn't want another family than the bears. And once again, Death shows up, saying how he's gonna kill Puss. Puss finally realizes that he wants this life and none other, and he wants to be with Kitty. Yes, I know, it sounds cliche. Wrapping this up, he defeated Death. However, Jack ate a cookie and a potion that was in his small infinite bag, and he escaped. They decided to destroy the paper that goes to the wish, and the star collapses, sucking in Jack. Puss and Kitty survive. Happy ending. Woo. The message. This movie, in my opinion, has multiple different meanings, taking everything life gives you and turning it into something positive and making sure not to go through life too fast. Being able to overcome something you fear and learn not to fear, and again, overcome that. For example, anxiety / fear / cherishing what you have in that moment, etc. Starting off with anxiety. To what I believe the biggest meaning in the story, in the beginning of the movie, Death whistles to his opening intro. After Puss almost dives to him and barely escapes, this is a realization of, oh shit, I almost just died permanently. Throughout the movie, the same whistle sounds whenever Death is nearby, sending Puss's fur into a raise and him to be panicked and want to leave whatever that area is almost immediately. His heart immediately starts to pound, so hard that it makes him have to lay down to calm down. The only way that Puss makes himself stop being afraid of death is by overcoming the thought of death and being fulfilled by what he has around him, has found for himself, and is able to defeat death with Kitty and Perito, realizing that he got more out of this life than any other. In all the other lives, he was just living for a banner of being a legend, and not scared of anything. So being scared of something made him not understand what was happening, and resulted making irrational decisions that he later regretted. For not going through with life too fast, one of the many key points is when they stop and smell the roses during Pocket Full of Posies, and they find relaxation in that. It forces Puss to stop, instead of getting the high from racing around back and forth and fighting this and that. I wanted to leave off with something small, but that gets the main message of the movie. Take the time to enjoy life. Spend it with loved ones, or even simple things like a song or a book. Don't live to the point where you're scared you'll be thought different of, like Puss does. Anyways, thank you for watching, and have a damn good day.